Viewers, the latest news about the ongoing conflict between Ethiopia, Tigray, and Amhara region is that as the Tigray war expands in scale, with Tigray governments reporting yesterday that Eritrea launched full-scale offensive in all fronts. With new reports from Amhara regional state and Addis Ababa are indicating that the number of Ethiopian soldiers wounded in Tigray war is like never before. That the number of wounded is exceeding the capacity of health facilities in the Amhara regional state cities and towns such as Behirdar, Dessi, Gondar, and towns around Addis Ababa. Well, some stadiums in the Amhara regional state are also used for such purpose. A source who visited Voldia Stadium during the first round of the war last year recalled a similar scene he saw at that time, where he said he saw wounded Eritrean soldiers in the mix. And Ethiopian government is tight-lipped when it comes to the number of soldiers who are killed in the war. And the same with the Tigray government. The past few days, huge number of soldiers who sustained heavy wounds are being airlifted to the military hospital in Addis Ababa. The country's largest public hall, the Millennium Hall, which was built 15 years ago for celebrating the Ethiopian Millennium, is reportedly being used to treat the heavily wounded soldiers. Whereas the last time this hall was used for health related purposes was at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. With the continuous supply of newly trained soldiers to the war front, including being Ethiopian soldiers transported to Eritrea, the fear of a protracted war is increasing. And one source told that at least 60,000 members of the Ethiopian National Defense Force and different sections of Amhara regional state armed groups area in Eritrea. And today's media's in depth with Yusuf theories what looks like an unrestrained supply of soldiers on the Ethiopian side and compares it with Eritrea and what Tigray might do. His Ethiopian political elites and their urban base are detached from the pains of the rural and urban poor masses. And that is what makes the country, despite being repleted with huge number of war casualties and socio-economic pains, there is no room for a revolt. Imagine a hypothetical person who would not feel any pain whatever injury happens to his leg, including amputation, because his brain for whatever reason is detached from the pain. And imagine the same person has a magical supply of countless number of spare legs. And the Addis Ababa and Behirdar brains behind the war on Tigray and detached from the masses who are perishing in the war. As soon as the number of who can continue the fight decline, the refill with the new supply of spares. And the same with the Asmara brain of this war. It is detached from and does not feel the pain of its masses. The only difference between Asmara on one hand and Addis Ababa and Behirdar is Asmara does not have countless number of spares. Whereas the Asmara's advantage, this shortage of unrestrained supply is made up by Addis Ababa and Behirdar willingness to serve as a supplier of the countless spares. Hence the estimated 60,000 Ethiopian soldiers in Eritrea. Addis Ababa's and Behirdar elites are not bothered yet. The launch of the full-scale war by Eritrea comes after United States Special Envoy to the Horn of Africa Mike Hammer ended his 12 days of visit to the region. He gave press briefing yesterday an analyst who listened to the recording of special invoice, he seems to be detached from the reality on the ground. And the analyst added, the United States has once again missed a golden opportunity to avoid continuation of carnage in the Horn. Whereas Ethiopia today rejected a report by United Nations investigators that accused Addis Ababa of possible ongoing crimes against humanity in its war-torn Tigray region, including using starvation as a weapon. The Commission of Human Rights expert on Ethiopia said it had found evidence of widespread violations by all sides since fighting erupted in Tigray nearly 2 years ago. And this included the government of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, a noble laureate, and its allies who were intentionally causing great suffering by denying aid to Tigray, a region of 6 million. And Kari Bete, one of the Commission's 3 independent rights experts and its chair, said the denial of food, medicine, and basic services was having a devastating impact on the civilian population. And we have responsible grounds to believe it amounts to a crime against humanity. She said on Monday, following the release of the report, the Commission's first. And said that we also responsible ground to believe that the federal government is using starvation as a method of warfare. And Ethiopia's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva said the Commission was politically motivated and the conclusions were self-contradictory and based. And there is not any single evidence that shows the government of Ethiopia used humanitarian aid as an instrument of war. And the envoy told AFP, describing the report as a mockery and rubbish. And therefore, we have no other option but to reject this report. He said investigators had ignored atrocities by the Tigray People Liberation Front, which ruled Ethiopia for decades before Abiy came to power in 2018, and which Addis Ababa consider a terrorist group. So far the latest update. For more latest update, please subscribe channel. Thanks for watching.